Hi, everyone, and welcome to this Langer at the Mic live Habs postgame show. And another snooze fest for the Montreal Canadiens. And I'm sorry, that was a snooze fest despite the Habs playing in front of a packed Bell Center of 21,000 plus fans for the first time since March 2020, right before the pandemic started. But the Habs, they struggle to score again. Getting right to the point here. The Habs, they just struggled to score again. Just one goal now, again, for the third straight in a row. That's 3 goals in 3 games. Power play sucked again. Habs went 0 for 3 on the power play. Rangers 1 for 4. So once again, that's 3 games in a row where the Habs lose the special teams battle. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I don't know what to say. 3-1 the final score. Rangers win. Alexis Lafreniere, the game-winning goal, of course, the first overall pick last year. But Jonathan Drouin on the bright side. Jonathan Drouin did score second of the season off a nice pass by Christian Dvorak. Christian Dvorak took the puck all the way around behind the net and passed in front to Drouin, who faked the shot and went forehand, backhand, buried it on Igor Shesterkin. And that was just about the highlight of the game right there. That's pretty much the only. The first period was okay, I guess. I found there was a weird thing going on Sportsnet with the shots on goal indicator. The shots were stuck at like 17, 18 the whole time. But the Habs ended up outshooting the Rangers 32-24. Oh, another great thing about this game. How can I forget Jake Allen? Phenomenal in this game once again. Really solid in the opener against the Leafs. Jake Allen was really solid once again in this game, stopping 29 out of 32. But yeah, just again, a very like in the first period, they're playing hard. Like the Habs are playing with good pace. And I will say this though, and a lot of you aren't going to want to hear this, but the Canadians right now, at least, are missing Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Corey Perry on their power play. And they struggled last year with Corey Perry and Kotkaniemi, but just Kotkaniemi's ability to just man the half wall and just settle things down on his left wing, and Corey Perry's ability to wreak havoc down low and cause traffic and just make the other goalie's life miserable down low, and to be able to be savvy with the puck, either quick move in tight and burying it, or a quick pass in front to Gallagher for him to bury it. That presence is missing right now, and I'm sorry, but Yoel Armia ain't cutting it. Dominic Ducharme already mixed up the forward lines after just 5 periods of regular season hockey, and it's about time to mix up the power play lines. My uncle, shout out to Jeffrey Langer, Tonton Jeffrey Langer, and also his son Jeremy Langer was at the game today among the 21,000. But a lot of people on Twitter were saying, why not put Jonathan Drouin with Cole Caulfield? And that's another thing. Cole Caulfield is just pressing right now. He looks like, I hate to say it, but he looks even like he's struggling even more than he did early in his rookie season. And I would attribute it honestly to just, it's all in here. It's in here. And whenever he does have a time and space to shoot, there was one point in the second period where he was in a perfect place to let go of a good, quick shot, but the puck bounces over his stick. Nick Suzuki, the new $7.8 million man, is okay. I mean, he's playing a full 200-foot game, but not nearly as threatening offensively as you'd want him to be. Just one shot on goal, -1, 2 hits. Tyler Toffoli's also struggling right now. Tyler Toffoli, -2. He did have 4 shots on net, but yeah, just honestly, the best way I can attribute this is right now, the psyche of this team is not in a good place right now. The entire psyche of this team. They're still in a bit of a hangover from the Stanley Cup final. And that's all I can really attribute it to. I mean, a spirited first period against the Leafs, opening the scoring against the Leafs. And by the way, it's the only time the Habs have held a lead this season so far, when Drouin opened the scoring against the Leafs on Wednesday. And stink in the bed would be an understatement, but stink in the bed against Buffalo. And then tonight in front of a packed Bell Center. By the way, another positive moment was, well, obviously the fans and the pregame ceremony, and Carey Price and Shea Weber obviously not in attendance, but them being honored before the game and the ovation that they got was really, really special, really, really cool, really, really wholesome, but also very bittersweet. And yeah, like just I would say this team. Honestly, I like Dvorak. I think Dvorak is a fine guy at even strength, a fine center iceman. Because here's the thing with Dvorak that Danault couldn't do. Dvorak can be can be on the ice to win the faceoff when you're down one goal and with the empty net. He could be on the ice for a 6-on-5, but he could also stay on the ice and help offensively and not just skate to the bench like Danault would do. And yeah, and I would honestly look, this team misses Joel Edmondson on defense right now. Ben Sherratt really struggled tonight, I found. I mean, that one play where Jake Allen had to bail him out, where it was in the second period, just a complete blown coverage by Jake Allen, and sorry, not by Jake Allen, by Ben Sherratt. He was just standing watching as, who was it again? It was a Kreider forced a turnover, and just and Ben Sherratt had no idea. He was just standing in quicksand. Honestly, I did not hate Romanov's game. Romanov was the one who kicked the Kreider goal in. It went off. It was a great pass from Panarin to Zibanejad across to Chris Kreider in front, and it went off Kreider, off Romanov, and in. And Romanov did have a couple of iffy play. He had a bit of an iffy shift in the first period. Will Sammy Blais forced a turnover on him and it just didn't look good. And then he got beat to the outside, I think, by Rooney in the third period there. But overall, though, I liked Romanov's ability to join the rush and skate, but it's just, and also he had a couple of big hits. He had a really big hit in the first period. He finished with, what was it, Romanov over here? Finished with 2 hits on the night, 17 minutes of ice time, so not bad. But overall, this blue line, though, like, is Petrie is now playing 20. Although Sherratt led the team in ice time, led the defenseman in ice time, which is interesting. Thought it would have been Petrie, kind of like Savard's game today, and he had that little move, that little carry into the zone where he couldn't really make anything happen from it, but it was nice to see in a game like this. It was kind of a highlight, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, though, Jake Allen, once again, Sarah, Leafs fan who was just on the show for the Langert to Mike post-game show a couple of games ago. Huge props to Jake Allen. He's a great goaltender. Cole Drake clamoring for Shane Wright, and Bielahi clamoring for Connor Bedard after the year after this coming year. And yeah, I would agree. Like, I wouldn't say that the Habs lack creativity. It's just they just don't have a purpose to their offensive zone play. They don't have a purpose to their power play. Like Yoel Armia, I mentioned Yoel Armia playing the Corey Perry role of being down low and being a big body presence down low. But the problem is when you're doing that, like, you can't, if the puck lands on your stick, you got to take it to the net. You can't try to force a fancy play back out. That's not your role. Your role is to put that puck back in front of the net, but also know when to be down low on the side of the net, and also know when to screen the goaltender. And here's another thing tonight is the Habs, far too often, like we've seen all year last year, way too many shots from out far with no traffic in front. Shesterkin was giving up rebounds tonight. There were rebound chances to be had, but no one was home ever. Trouba tied up Josh Anderson, I think, at one point where Dvorak attempted a pad pass. Jake Evans also made a really nice move in the third period. I like Jake Evans' game today. And but Shesterkin made it look really easy. I mean, it was quite an easy save for him on that move that Evans had in the third period there. And yeah, like, honestly, that's pretty much it. With 82 games, I'm not gonna be I don't know if I'm going to be going for 20 minutes long here, and I'd like to get to the comments. Of course, leave a comment in the comment section on how concerned you are. Are we pressing the panic button yet on this season? I mean, look, 0-3 right now. The Habs 0-3, like they got to win 3 games to get back to 500, and even more concerning, in the first 3 games, no points. So, yeah, just I attribute all this to a mental funk more than anything, and that's my take. Maybe you think that the Habs just aren't a good team. That's possible. Losing Deneau, losing Perry, losing Price, losing Weber. That's also possible. Tatar, of course. We haven't seen Mike Hoffman yet, though. So I wonder how Mike Hoffman could maybe kickstart this offense here. Drouin's the top scorer. I mean, that's honestly a highlight of the season so far. Drouin, the one guy who had the chance to focus on his mental health this offseason and who is not part of the Stanley Cup run, is the one producing offensively the most right now. That entire line of Dvorak and Anderson as well. I like Josh Anderson's game tonight. I will give some love to Josh Anderson. 5 hits, only 1 shot on goal. He was missing the net a lot, but still, you noticed him tonight. Like you always kind of do, but he was making at least some things happen. And that line, once again, was the best line on the ice. And yeah, look at what happened to the Leafs last year. But the Leafs, they're off to a 2-1 start now through 3 games. They had the win against the Ottawa Senators tonight. And they had actually Alex Bishop back up Jack Campbell, Alex Bishop, the U of T varsity blue, who I called their football game today, which I'll post on my Twitter at Mike Langer. Yeah, Dvorak. I like Dvorak. I think Dvorak is fine down the middle, but I will say I think Deneau brings a little bit more juice and personality than Dvorak does. But from a hockey player standpoint, Dvorak, I like him in that second line center spot. But it's on Suzuki, it's on Jake Evans, it's on Cedric Paquette and Mathieu Perreault. And that's another thing in this game. Too many offensive zone penalties, and that cost the Habs in the second period. They had 4 penalties in a row, 2 of them in the offensive zone. Perreault, Weidman, like that can't happen. That can't happen, especially when you're struggling on special teams. But yeah, doesn't look good right now. Doesn't look good right now. I think I'm going to wrap it up here, honestly, because again, with 82 games, I'm not going to drag these things out too long. And I also have to do a Cowboys preview, which I'm going to do in momentarily here. But as usual, leave a comment in the comment section as to your concern level, how you're feeling after these 3 games. I ain't feeling good, that's for sure. I don't think many people here are feeling good. It's really hard to be optimistic about the Habs right now. But yeah, that's all we have here on this Line Guard the Mike postgame show. As usual, yeah, we need Brooks, Eddie, and Hoffman. We'll see what they could bring to the lineup if and when they do get inserted into the lineup. But yeah, that's all we have here on this Line Guard the Mike postgame show. As usual, give me a big thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike Langer for all 3. And thank you for joining in on this Line Guard the Mike Habs postgame show. I look forward to seeing you again next time, which will hopefully be after a win. God willing, man. Whew. Hopefully.